crafting fun. How are you? It's Summer with Hammond's Nest, and if you're on my text list, you didn't get a reminder text simply because it's a little late in the evening, and I figured some of y'all might be all cozied up in bed, but for those who are not, I hope that you can join me live. If you catch the replay, I still want to know that too, and I want to know what you loved about the project that I'm going to share with you during our little crafty time tonight. So let me get over here and make sure, as always, that I am live in the right spot and that there I am. Okay, I see myself. Let's see, let's get it going. Let's turn it down a little bit. We'll make sure the volume is not there. Say hi. Tell me what you're up to on this Wednesday evening. I am on day 3 pretty much. I did have to get out early Monday morning to go get my daughter from, well, it wasn't super early, but right before lunchtime because she was at a church camp. But we've been snowed and iced, really more iced in here in North Louisiana for the past few days. So I thought to cure these cooped up blues, I would jump on live with you. I've been doing a lot with the business on the back end, putting out a couple new blogs for y'all and different ideas this week already, but still, I love being live with you. So this is my time to chat. If you're not into that, totally understand. You can go to my video library and you can check out some short to the point videos. I just like to say that. So what are we doing today? Let me move this out of the way. What are y'all up to? Are y'all snowed or iced in where you are? Hey, Bobby. Hey, Lisa and Jerry. Make sure, okay, I am in the right spot. Well, if you want to invite some friends to come watch live with us, you can just sprinkle out the video right now while you're watching. You can throw a heart, like, say hi to me. I just love hearing from y'all. We are working with a little wooden heart that is, well, it's actually an MDF wood heart. You'll know what that means, like the multi-density fiberboard. That's what it stands for, MDF. And so it's a wood-like composite. And this, so I don't have the tag. I'm so sorry, I don't have the tag. But because I went ahead and painted in distress a little bit for what we're doing for tonight's craft. But so I think it was maybe like $2 or something like that on sale. It measures about 15 at the widest part and 15 this way. So that's about the measurements of this heart. And I got it at Hobby Lobby. So this is what it looked like before. And it had little strings hanging and all that. And what I did was I went ahead and I gave it a coat of plaster. Actually, I first gave it a coat of truffle. Okay, and I let that dry. And then I gave it a coat of plaster. And then I'll let that dry, and then I just hit it with a sander. So just for like a little bit of distressing around the edges, because we're actually going to be making something pretty cool, and we're going to be covering up about 2/3 of it anyway. So I just wanted to give the heart a little bit of character before what we're about to do. Somebody else is snowed in, Miss Patty Brown. Staying warm in Kentucky, Miss Anita. Thank you for sprinkling, Lisa. I appreciate that so much. We have nasty cold, but we're used to it in northern Wisconsin. Okay, so in Louisiana here, we are not used to this. Everybody's slipping and sliding, and everybody was just kind of advised to stay indoors if they could because some of the roads, bridges, and that were impassable. We just are not used to that kind of weather. And more than like fluffy snow, it's more like ice. So, you know, thank you, Jerry. Freezing in Michigan, Kathy says, will stay warm. So a little late night crafting. So I have got what I would like to consider kind of goes along with the lines of some of the little Valentine's Day things I've been sharing. Just some neutral kind of rustic Valentine's Day crafts. So I hope you'll hang out with me, see it come together probably pretty quickly because, I did all the painting ahead of time. I don't always do that, but sometimes I do. I only have the one heart. So coat of truffle, dry, coat of plaster, chalk paint, dry, distress with a sander. And that's all I have done to this little heart so far. So let me put those paints to the side there. Hey, Andrea, thank you for sprinkling. Oh, you're so sweet. Kathy says, I love watching your... We've had some ice and snow in Missouri, but got out for the first time today. Yes, Lisa. So I am going, I gave my, let me grab this fabric. I gave my mother-in-law, well, we gave our mother-in-law, you know, I kind of came up with something special to give her for Christmas, and it was a little getaway to a cute little town near us called Minden. So we'll be heading out there tomorrow. Everything kind of started melting away today, and it'll get warm enough for it to melt a little bit more tomorrow with the sunshine. So should be safe to get out. We're going to head over there and stay in some cute little VRBOs and do some little antique shopping, go to a fun coffee shop. So kind of gave her an experience gift, and so it's going to be a fun time. So anyway, let's get to this craft. And I've got this beautiful black stripe fabric. Kind of has a real farmhouse rustic feel. Kind of has a ticking feel. I don't know whether this would actually qualify as ticking because the lines don't go all the way across it. But that is the fabric that I'm going to use. And I've got a little piece of that here. So we're going to lay this over the top. Let me give you some measurements just in case you do kind of want to give this exact craft a try. And I like to say it on video, so I have some something to go back and watch in case I do get it up on the blog, and then I have the measurements. So 16 by 10 is the piece of fabric I'm going to start with to give me enough to wrap around. Hi, good evening. Because we're going to create a little heart pocket. Thank you for sprinkling, Anita. Y'all are so sweet. Thank y'all. Yes, I would love to have some people join us late night. And now, like I said, I didn't send out a reminder text because it's so late. Here we're in Central Time, so it's past 9 o'clock, and I should be in bed. Lisa says, antiquing is what I need right now. Give me a heart or thumbs up if you should be in bed right now, but you're hanging out with me instead. Hey, Roxy. Okay, so what we're going to do first, and this is, I want to, with my particular design, I'm going to try to line it up to where one of these big stripes right here is going down the center of the heart. And I'm also going to end up using some trim work. I'm not sure which one. Let me lay it out because I'm not positive which one. I think I'm going to go with the thinner one though. But gosh, I really like that. I think it would look pretty. Maybe I should use that one. Okay, so if I'm going to put some trim work at the top here, then I got to kind of figure out how high up I want my little pocket to go. So it's going to be pretty simple. If I can just get that one little staple in the right spot to begin with. And I'm going to do that like so. So the most important staple is this one right here. So let me go ahead and take my light duty stapler. Hey, Michelle. And I'm going to pop a little staple in there and make sure that we're still lined up on the front. Got to double check. Okay, that looks good. And then, so now I'm going to go, and there may be a better way to do this, but this is just what I came up with. I want to follow along with the shape of the heart, but I don't want to lose this line. You know what I think I'm actually going to do to help myself? I'm going to take some painter's tape, and I am going to, while I'm trying to pull that taut and get it stapled, I'm going to try to keep it right there doing that. That'll help me a lot. Hey, Kenny. Oh, Tracy. Hey, all right, Kenny Creations is in the house. Hey, Tracy. Hello, Linda. Brand new fan of my page, Farmville, Virginia. That's so funny, Linda. We have a town up the road from me called Farmerville instead of Farmville. So, yes, that piece of tape is going to help me tremendously to wrap this tight. So I'm going to start putting in some staples, kind of like you're reupholstering something in a way. You're going to pull it tight. Just kind of do a double check. I'm going to go in the center there. Ooh, that's helping a lot. So that little piece of tape right there is helping keep everything in place. So I'm going to do that. And this is actually a little bit of a heavier duty fabric, more like you would probably use for upholstery, okay? Very similar to canvas drop cloth. This is not some thin type of muslin or anything like that. Let me do a double check. It's adorable so far. Oh, Devin. Oh, I'm sorry you think the fabric's ugly. Let's see. Let's get rid of you, Devin. All right. I mean, not that I don't care if somebody thinks the fabric's ugly, but there's no need for that. Okay. If you think this is ugly, you'll probably think whatever else I do is ugly too. So just move along. Okay. So let's see. We're keeping this pretty straight. And I'm going to put in this last little staple here. I'm going to pull tight over here. So I'm just working my way back and forth. It's kind of interesting working with a striped fabric like this. You got to make sure the stripe stays straight. So I'll worry about putting on like a backer piece or something later because I'm not worried about the back right this minute. But I do want to get the center nice and tight. So let me do a little tightening. These are 1/4 inch staples that I do feel like work for this particular MDF. So all good. And what I'll probably do, I'm going to save some of this scraps. I'm going to save some of these scraps because I can use them in like a little rag bow or something. I used, if y'all remember the little Cupid sign we made, I'm coordinating that with that fabric, so it should look good. And then I'd probably just take a piece of some other kind of fabric or something and just do a finished back. But I'm not going to do that here live with y'all today. I just want to make sure I get everything real nice and tight while also keeping those stripes straight. So we are just about stapled good enough where I feel, it does feel like I'm reupholstering something, which is fun. I have several things I need to reupholster in my house. I need to get busy with that for the new year. All right, one more little staple, and I feel like we are good to go with continuing our, well, my vision that I'm sharing with y'all tonight, and that I hope is inspirational. I need one more little, I don't like how loose that looks. So I want it to look nice and tight from the other side, so that looks good. What do y'all think about that so far? That looks pretty good. I think we got that pretty tight. The trickiest part is down here, so I probably could put a couple more staples. I'm getting kind of staple crazy. But I think you would need the most of them down there at that corner piece to make that look good. Okay, so let's get rid of the tape. We're good to go there. And then we're going to take this trim piece. I think I am going to use the wider trim. Let me hold it up to y'all. Oh, yeah, I like the wider trim. I think the wider trim is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it first on this side, line it up to where it's going to be anyway. I'm going to go ahead and secure that with a staple. More staple happy here. But hey, if it works, it works. And then I'm going to pull it taut this way. I'm probably going to put a little bit of glue right here. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the piece that I need. I debated going back and forth as I was kind of playing this out in my head, because remember, I didn't really have it all the way planned out. Obviously, I only have the one. So I was thinking about using some of the pink trim, you know, that pretty pink ribbon that I used in that bow back there on the Cupid. I thought about that, and then I was like, well, no. Hey, Alyssa, or Elisa from Shelton. Darlene Huss, hello. I have been watching you for years. I usually don't comment. I just came in from my shed. I've done one of these hearts tonight. Oh my gosh, no way, Darlene. Great minds, and I'm glad I saw your comment since you don't usually get to chat with me. Hello, hello. Oops. It's Alicia. Oh, my scroll is not working. The thickness of my heart, I want to say it's like a 1/4 inch or just barely. They're at Hobby Lobby. Let me see. Yeah, it's just about 1/4 inch. It's just shy of 1/4 inch. So let me pull this tight. I'm going to just put a little bit of hot glue while I'm holding it tight. Just in the center. I don't want to go glue crazy because I've already got it stapled over there. And I'm going to have it stapled over here. So I don't need to go too crazy with the glue. Yeah, and I just had this little idea in my head. I was like, y'all know I love me some pockets. So anything I get to do that looks so cute so far. And so just in case you're keeping up, we're able to put stuff in here. Thank you, Carolyn. She says she loves the fabric toys. Hello, Joanne from Australia. Belle's late to our virtual crafting party tonight, but she thinks it's looking good. Michelle Fernandez, Hobby Lobby, in case you didn't hear that. Oh, hi, Patty. Thank you, Kathy Yeba. Hey, Jimmy. How are you? My friend Jimmy. She's a neighbor up the road. Yeah, you definitely want it taut if you're going to put florals in the pocket, because it will stretch it out a little bit. But the florals we're doing aren't super heavy duty, and we're not going super crazy, so it should be fine. Now, as far as like hangy stuff, I think I'm just going to stick with my tried and true jute, some thicker jute. Let's go ahead and get the hanger in there. I'm going to use a little bit of Scotch tape on the end to help me feed this through this little tiny hole a little bit better. That's a little trick. Or some little hot glue on the end. It helps to make it stiff so you can feed it through. You should, Jen. You should absolutely try this. And there's so many different fabrics you could use. I would suggest using like a heavy duty fabric. You know. Okay, pull that through. I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I probably could have done it where I only did it once. I could have done that. I could have done it, fed it through the front. Oh, well, I'm going to feed it through the back. See, like sometimes when I do the little string, I feel like I only need to feed it through one way. So if I tried to just do this, it might work. There we go. But if you're you're trying to put something thick through something smaller, but you know it should fit, then a little tape trick is super helpful. Okay, I just did a little double knot there. Now I can just decide kind of how long I want it. Sometimes for stuff like this, especially when I double knot it, I will leave my string longer so that I could adjust the size whenever I decide where it's going to hang, because I could always pull the excess through and double knot it and clip off the extra. So that's something I like to do. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of leave it pretty long till I decide where I want it. And sometimes even one of my favorite things when I'm hanging stuff with jute is I like to, if it's got too much string on it, so that's what it's looking like so far. If it's got too much string, I'll take it like this and double knot it and hang it. And that way I don't get rid of my excess string. So, all right, I'm keeping it neutral tonight, y'all. Keeping it neutral to kind of go with most of what I've been doing for Valentine's Day. So I've got this ribbon from Hobby Lobby, 321067. That is the SKU number. I like to share that with y'all because I find that y'all find that very helpful. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a very, very simple loop bow. And to do that, I'm just going to wrap. I'm going to decide if that's about how big I need it. And I might make it just a smidge bigger, just a smidge. And I'm just going to wrap in about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 times around. I think that that will be plenty. And so that's just wrapped on top of itself. And you can get away with these kind of bows whenever your ribbon looks the same, no matter what. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and tie this off in the center here. I'm going to look at comments here in just a minute and try to make sure I didn't miss any super important questions. A cute little rag bow would look good on this too, but I'm just going to do this simple little neutral burlap bow because I really want the star of the show to be my my florals that I'm about to pull out and put in this cute little pocket. Okay, so I've got all these wrapped together. It doesn't look super impressive that way, does it? But you got to pull them all out and just make it fluff up. So we're just pulling all of our layers out. Like I said, this is a real simple design. So I'm not overthinking that bow at all. I just wanted something simple and cute, and definitely a bow helps dress it up a little bit, and I feel like it has an elegant look as it is. So just a simple little bow like this is going to do the trick. See how easy that was? Was that not the easiest? You really can get away with a lot more whenever your ribbon looks the same on the front and the back. Let's see here. Well, y'all are just talking to me so much tonight. Thank you. I love this ribbon, Lisa. She says she uses this ribbon a lot. I love it. The neutral ribbons at Hobby Lobby, they have such a great selection. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you, Annette. The bow is real pretty. Very simple. So, of course, we want to leave this as a pocket, so we're going to have to glue this on. But here, before I do this, I need to decide if I want to use one of my printable tags. And if you haven't seen, I did use some of my printable tags. The ones that I've used are on these little topiaries here. If you haven't seen that project. That one says, Be My Valentine. And then this one says, XOXO. Super cute. And it comes off of this free printable. If you want to, see, I already cut those out. If you want this sheet, it's a free download. You can comment freebies and you'll get the link straight to your inbox of this tag. Well, not just these tags, but you can scroll through my free printable library and see if you can find anything else you want to get crafty with. But I'm trying to think. I'm going to go ahead and tear one of these tags out. I'm thinking I want to use, gosh, they're also cute, but I'm thinking I want one about this size. So it's either going to be this one, the Katharine Hepburn quote, which I think is so pretty, or this one. It says, love you yesterday, love you still, always have, always will. I've always loved that. So I'm not sure which one I want to use, but I was thinking it could use a little tag. It would be really sweet, especially since we're keeping it all neutral. I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use this one. The love you yesterday, love you will, love you less yesterday, love you still, always have and always will. So I think I'm going to use that, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do some ripped edges, of course. So if you print these out on your computer, they do have a little bit of an off-white, but very neutral background. Yeah, you have to write freebies, Freebies, and it'll prompt my little autoresponder to send you to my free printable library on my blog. And anyway, you can print it out on whatever you like. This is printed out on cardstock. Depending on your project, you can print it out on fabric, or I mean, whatever. You may want to make fabric tags, or you may want to just print it out on regular copy paper or tissue paper or decoupage paper if you maybe want to decoupage it onto a wood tag or something like that. So the possibilities are quite vast, and I'm sure that y'all can find lots of ways to get creative with them. I just wanted to offer that to you. Tags are really fun. I think I have some free fall tags on there, maybe even some. No, my Christmas tags were from my bow workshop, but there's still a lot of things on there. So that's just what it looks like, kind of ripped up, and I'm gonna crinkle it now because it's totally my style. Let's make it look kind of older. Summer, this is off subject, but what is the material? Oops, somebody answered. Do you thank you, Kimberly? She is so right. She says, what's the material you always use that starts with an O? Osnaburg. That's the little bow. That's what the bow is made from on the little topiaries there. Osnaburg. And some people have said they've gone to craft stores asking for it, and they're like, what? You want Osna what? And I just got a little hole punch here. And it's just, it's very similar to muslin. It's just, I think it's a little bit thicker than muslin in my opinion, and it has like little light brown specks in it. It has a little bit more character than regular muslin. To me, just my opinion. But anyway, I'm going to put a little bit of antiquing wax on this too, or antiquing ink. Antiquing ink, that's the word I'm looking for. So let's see, where's my antiquing ink? I've got 4 colors stacked here. I'm going to use the walnut stain. It's one of my favorites that my go-to. Oh, thank you, Vicky. Living the cozy life. I figured it's appropriate. It's actually one of my favorite lounge sweatshirts for around my house. So you might see me live with it pretty often. And I painted it. I chalk painted it a couple years ago. I'm going to just smudge up this tag a little bit along the edges. We're going to see if I want to use it. I think it looks pretty with or without a tag, but I mean, we could always just have this tag as optional, you know? Always a good option. That's pretty. So see, that kind of just gives a little bit of character around the edges there. And then I'm going to take this same antiquing wax, even though I have a lot of my truffle color showing underneath this distressing, and I'm just going to add a little bit more distress ink around the edges. Can't hurt to add a little bit more extra character. Right? Am I right? It's not much, very minimal, so not overdoing it or anything, but and this, let me hold this up for you, for those that might be interested. Walnut stain, Tim Holtz Distress Ink. Okay, so we've got our bow, we've got our tag. I always like to do this and hold it up to y'all because I'm like, oh yeah, that's cute. Yeah, I think it needs the tag. I think it needs the tag. So what we're going to do is we are going to take a little bit more string real quick, snip it off. And if I change my mind, I can always cut this tag off or change it up or something. Easy, easy. Easy to do. I didn't think you could use chalk paint on t-shirts. How do you treat the fabric? So I use chalk paint. This, I have to say, let me just give this disclaimer. This particular brand, I used to sell Dixie Belle chalk mineral paint for several years when I had a brick and mortar shop. And a little bit when I first came online. I don't sell it anymore. But it was just a brand I was really familiar with, and I did a lot of DIY fashion stuff with it. And I've made a lot of things. I've made dish towels and everything else. I just wash I prefer cotton fabrics, and I just pre-wash them and paint them with stencils, and heat set it if you want to, but some things I never heat set and I had great success with. I don't think it's all the same when you use it on different materials of shirts. You wouldn't always get the same result. Sometimes it would be kind of cracky, but this kind of stuff, like you can't even, like if I held it close up, this is weird. If I held this really, really close up, there's no cracking or anything on some of the sweatshirts and my cotton t-shirts. I've done several tutorials on it. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can probably find some information on that. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of glue on the back of my bow. I gotta make sure not to glue my pocket down, of course. So I'm gonna hold that there. Make sure I have that in the right spot. Hey, Angel. Savannah, thank you so much. The wood spool, this, look, I got this at, I think this is called Creative Co-op brand. It's actually a brand new. I mean, I've had it for several years and I just refill it. Like I buy this twine from Walmart or Hobby Lobby or whatever, and I just refill it. It looks real pretty in pictures and everything. So I like to use it when I'm on my tutorials and stuff. But Creative Co-op, and y'all probably heard of that brand and shopped that brand before. But I got it at Magnolia. Y'all know Waco, in Waco, Texas. All right, I got one of my little buttons. My little wood buttons from Walmart. Look at this cute little button. Got to have something for the center, of course. The heart came from Hobby Lobby. So I'm going to put a little bit of hot glue on this button here. Get it positioned. Oh, that looks so cute. I think this tag is going to kind of hang. If I want the, I know what I'm going to do. I don't want to put any hot glue behind this tag in case I decide to take it off later. I probably won't, but I'm going to use a glue dot. Totally temporary, but it will help my tag kind of hang where I want it to. There we go. So that's what we have so far. Is that not so sweet? So sweet and simple. Okay, let's grab some pretty florals. I've got some of my greenberry bush that y'all know I love so much. Greenberry bush. I like to hold the SKU up for that too, because people like to know. I do have it linked in a lot of my blogs lately. I've been trying to do a much better job for y'all, giving y'all the links to things and all that. So there's some of my greenberry bush, and then I've got some wild, I think I got these from Hobby Lobby too last spring. Some wild hydrangea bushes, wild hydrangeas. I think that's what they're called. I don't have the SKU number for those, unfortunately, so I'm very sorry. But I think that's what they're called, is wild snowballs, like snowball wild hydrangeas or something like that. Something along those lines, you guys. So I've got that. So let's start putting some of that and see how it looks. All right, I'm not going to go too crazy. I'm just going to layer some greenery. Oops. And you can tell I've been stealing sprigs off this one. So let me get rid of that. And I keep calling this a garland. It's actually not a garland, a full garland. It's like a big swaggy type bush at Hobby Lobby. And so it's just one of my favorite little pieces of greenery. I have a lot of favorite greenery at Hobby Lobby, but I like the stuff that looks more earthy and more natural. Disclaimer also, I am not a florist. I'm not a floral arranger. I just do what feels good and looks good and have fun with it. And that's my advice to you, is to have fun with it. Cutting some of these down, and look, it breaks my heart to cut florals. But for this pocket, it really needed to be cut down. I love the way these kind of hang and droop too. Oh, they look so good. They really look so good. Look how pretty that's looking. Isn't that just quite lovely? So I'm gonna stick one more. I'm not using it all. Like I said, I'm not gonna go terribly, terribly crazy, but I am playing with varying heights, especially these little snowballs. And I'm also trying to keep in mind, I don't want to lose the look of this being a heart. So I don't want to cover up the fact that it's a heart. So I'm keeping that in mind as I'm arranging the flowers in the pocket. So see, I think that you don't even have to go too crazy. Let me hold it up for y'all and see if I thought that it might need. So I feel like that looks kind of holey right there. I don't like the way that looks. So let me put one more little piece of greenery here. And I am in love with this. It's so pretty. So, how gorgeous. So, see, I told you, I really wanted the flowers to be the star of the show. And so now I can hang this up. And like I said, I'll do something if it bothers me or wherever I'm hanging it. If I was selling it, absolutely. I would do something to cover up the back. But how sweet is this? And sometimes, yes, less is more. So you just keep it very simple. I could go crazy playing with all the different florals that I wanted to. Look, I even had these. I think these are really pretty, but I mean, I could add them if I wanted to. These are like little baby's breath. I thought that would look pretty, but look, I like the just simplicity of these two florals, and the greens in the leaves of the little snowball wild hydrangeas really match the tone of the green and the greenberry bush. So those two flowers go together very, very beautifully, and I think it's very, very pretty. So, solutions, that's why I kind of, y'all see, I just did something very minimal to that heart because a lot of it was going to get covered up, but it's got enough character, and that stripe, oh, it's gorgeous. It is so gorgeous. So now I can hang that, and that would be really pretty. And don't y'all think this would look pretty mounted on just a plain grapevine wreath? I don't know that I have one around here. Let me see. Let me look and see if I have, you know, I think I went and put those in my storage room. Of course, cleaning up. I was cleaning up my studio, but I think this would look so pretty just mounted on a plain grapevine wreath too. I think that'd be really gorgeous. So it's so much fun hanging out with y'all. Thank you, Lisa. You're so sweet. Again, if you want, did my tag, my little sticky dot, I messed it up when I was pushing those florals in there. So if you want the free download of these Valentine sheets for you to get crafty with in some way, remember you can comment freebies and it'll send it right to your inbox. And y'all be sure to check out the blog from time to time. I'm working so hard. It's one of my biggest New Year's resolutions over at hammondsnest.com. Pretty easy to remember, same as my page, just .com. And I'm trying to make sure it's a New Year's resolution to get every project I do with y'all either here live or ones that I do short videos, that y'all have a supply list and things are kind of linked and resourced for y'all so that y'all can go back to it. And this is so pretty. Oh, I love it. And so y'all be sure to check that out from time to time and see what new I have over there. It's so much fun hanging with y'all. Hey, Suzanne Libby, how are you? And thank you, Lorraine Ingram. She says it looks great. Y'all are just the best crafting buddies ever. So I hope this inspires you. You could do this on a smaller version or an even bigger version. If you have a really big heart, this would be really pretty to do a big floral arrangement like this. Super simple to do. Y'all saw how easy it was. So, I'm just here to inspire and here to share, and I'm just thankful for y'all that I have y'all to share with. Hey, Catherine Wood, how are you? So if you are snowed or iced in like me until tomorrow, because I'm breaking out of the coop tomorrow, I'm flying the coop tomorrow and headed on a little vintage shopping trip less than an hour away with my mother-in-law. It was her Christmas present, so me and my two daughters and her are going to go do a little shop and stay in a cute little Verbo and have some fun together and just make some fun memories. And so I'll definitely kind of bring y'all along for some of that. We'll see. And but I'm breaking out of here tomorrow. But hey, if you're in the snow and ice, I hope whatever you're doing, you're staying warm. You're getting some fun organizing done for January, because that's kind of what we've been doing, purging, organizing. Still have Christmas up. I don't feel guilty about it. Yes, I still have Christmas up. Raise your hand. Who's with me? But it's okay. I'm loving looking at it. I love the ambiance and everything. So I'll get it down probably next week, but it's been fun. So anyway, thank y'all so much for your time. Cheryl says, enjoy your time. Thank you. Thanks for y'all. Yeah, y'all hanging out with me. Y'all go cuddle up, stay warm, and I'll see you for the next craft, okay? All right. Bye, y'all.